So, you need to hire someone for your lawn care. Sounds easy, right? But somehow it always turns into this huge, complicated chore. Well, today we're going to cut right through all that noise. I've got a simple playbook for you that'll help you find the right pro without the headache. Let's dive in.
Hey, does this sound familiar? Your grass is getting longer, like by the second. But the idea of digging through a bunch of companies, checking out strangers, making all those phone calls, it just feels exhausting, right? It's a super common feeling. But don't you worry, we're about to make this whole process a lot easier.
And listen, here's why you really can't just put this on the back burner. The grass, it doesn't care that you're busy. It just keeps growing. And waiting doesn't just mean that first cut is going to be way more expensive. It can actually damage your lawn in the long run. We're talking costly repairs, like having to reseed the whole thing. So yeah, acting fast is definitely key here. Okay, let's jump into phase 1, defining your mission. Seriously, before you even think about Googling or picking up the phone, you gotta know what you're actually looking for. A little bit of prep work right now is gonna save you a ton of headaches down the road. Trust me. So, to get started, I want to introduce you to this really powerful idea. It's called the triangle of customer service. It sounds kind of formal, but it's a super simple, absolutely brilliant way to set your expectations and really understand the trade-offs that, well, you're pretty much always going to have to make. Just think about it for a second. In a perfect world, what would your lawn care look like? Well, it'd have 3 qualities, right? It'd be affordable, something that doesn't break the bank. It'd be reliable. They show up when they say they will every single time, like clockwork. And of course, the work itself would be good. I mean, really good, leaving your lawn looking amazing. Sounds like the dream, doesn't it? But here's the catch. As a general rule, you can only pick 2. And what's so interesting here is the fundamental truth this reveals. Any company out there that tries to be the absolute cheapest, the most reliable, and the highest quality, well, they're just not going to be in business for very long. It's simply not a sustainable business model. So that means you've got to make a choice. So here's the big question for you. Which 2 of those things matter the most? Let's break it down. You want someone who's reliable and affordable? Totally fine. But you have to be okay with the quality maybe not being a 10 out of 10. Or what about top-notch quality and super reliable service? You can absolutely have that, but it's not going to be cheap. And that last combo, affordable and high quality, well, that person is probably so busy they won't be very reliable. So you have to ask yourself, which corner of that triangle do you want to be in? At the end of the day, it's that old saying, you get what you pay for. So before you go any further in this process, you need to have a budget in mind. Just figure out what you're actually willing to spend. This is going to stop you from getting talked into services you can't afford, and it'll help you zero in on the pros that are the right fit for your wallet. All right, let's move on to phase 2, gathering intel. You know what you're looking for, you've got your budget set. Now it's time to actually find some top candidates. And we're going to look at both the modern, high-tech ways to do this and, yeah, some of the more old-school methods too. So for most of us, the search starts online, right? You hop on Google, see what local options pop up. From there, you can check out their websites, look at pictures of their actual work, and definitely dive into reviews on places like Yelp or Angie's List. There are even services out there like GreenPal that can do some of the work for you by getting you competing bids from a bunch of pros all at once. But for all the amazing power of the internet, sometimes it kind of causes us to overlook the most obvious and often the best solutions that are sitting right in front of our faces. Which brings me to my next point. Just ask your neighbor. I mean, seriously, if there's a lawn on your street that just always looks fantastic, go find out who takes care of it. A recommendation from someone you actually trust, that's gold. Plus, you'll be supporting a local pro who's already working right there in your neighborhood. It's a total win-win. Okay, we're on to phase 3, the final vetting. So you've defined your mission, you've got a short list of potential pros. Now for the big question. How do you make that final choice and feel really confident about it? I want you to do a quick 5-minute phone interview. These questions are super simple, but they tell you so much. Asking, is this your full-time job? That tells you about their level of commitment. What kind of equipment do you use? That hints at their professionalism. And asking, do you service other lawns nearby? Well, that can tell you how efficient they are and if they're already established in your area. But out of all the questions, there is one that is maybe the single most important one you can ask. And it's one that people forget all the time. Are they insured? This is not just some minor detail, folks. This is a critical piece of protection for you and your home.
Let me show you why this matters so much. Imagine an uninsured pro is mowing and a rock gets kicked up and goes right through your window, or worse, your neighbor's window. Guess who could be stuck paying for that? You. But with an insured pro, their general liability insurance takes care of it. It is literally the difference between a potential financial nightmare and complete peace of mind.
And okay, one last little tip before you pull the trigger and hire someone. Think long term. Do you just need mowing, or are you going to need leaf removal come fall? What about fertilization in the spring? It is so much easier to hire one company that can do it all instead of trying to juggle different crews for different jobs all year long. So there you have it. We've just walked through the entire playbook for hiring lawn care, let's call it the traditional way. And look, it absolutely works, but it definitely takes some time and effort. The good news? There's a much smarter, easier way to put this whole playbook into action. These days, technology can handle pretty much all of this heavy lifting for you. It'll save you a ton of time and connect you with qualified, already vetted pros right from the get-go. Just think back to the playbook we just went over. A service like GreenPal basically automates the whole thing. So instead of you having to do all the searching, you get competing bids sent to you. Instead of you hunting down reviews and asking about insurance, it's all right there for you to see. It handles all that vetting and price comparison stuff, so you can literally hire a pro without ever having to make a single phone call. So now you have the strategy, the complete playbook for hiring the right lawn care pro. And if you want to put that whole strategy on autopilot, you can get free, no-obligation quotes from local vetted pros today over at yourgreenpal.com. Thanks so much for tuning in.